one of the most fun things I get to do is to interact at a venue like this in what are called conversations on compassion, where I get to invite people in the arts, the sciences, in the areas of spirituality, religion, and then just have conversations. And not only is that wonderfully enlightening for me in a selfish way, but I think it's really beneficial for so many people because it gives them, if you will, an understanding of what is beyond science perhaps, or how these other behaviors that individuals embark upon positively impact not only themselves, but the greater world around them. And for those of you who know, and I think many of you do, Sadhguru has throughout his life incorporated these values, and especially the value of service to others. And many have found, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, have found how his teachings, his example, has had a profound impact on who they are or what they have become, and for so many of those around them, around the world. So in our conversation today, and one of the things I'm always interested in is for individuals, what is it in their background that began them ultimately on their path? And if I could ask you, I think you grew up in Mysore?
Yes.
And in fact, your father was a physician.
Yes, he is.
Don't hold that against me. The interesting thing, as I understand it, is that you always had an interest in nature and, if you will, being outside. And then you met your own guru at age 11. And maybe you can tell us about sort of perhaps what was different about you compared to your three other older siblings, and this interaction at such a young age with somebody who ultimately had, I think, a huge impact on your life. That was a short question, wasn't it?
I must say this, that till I was 19 years of age, I was so taciturn that I barely spoke. Because at the age of 3 or 4 years of age, I suddenly realized I do not know anything. I did not know anything at all. So when you know nothing, what do you say? My whole time and life went paying attention to all kinds of things, just anything. If you give me a glass of water, I could simply sit there staring at it for hours on end. If I sit up in the night, I would be just staring at the darkness for the whole night. My education was like this. If I opened a textbook, I would find a small, tiny little dot on the page that would keep me engaged for hours on end. I would be like this with the textbook for 2 hours, 3 hours, without reading a single word.
I do that now.
I mean, I didn't look here or there, just here. Just the tiny little dot kept me so engaged. So, if you really look at it even now, in many ways we know how to use everything in the universe, but we don't know what it is. With all this scientific exploration, we still do not know a single atom in its entirety. We know different components of it. We know how to fuse it, how to break it, how to use it, but we do not know what it is. If somebody gets to know what it is, he will know who he is and he will know what everything is, because this is the nature of the universe. If you know an atom, you will know the cosmos. So, that aspect of the question where you're talking about my relationship with my siblings, well, it was playful and there, but I was never really there. Because what happened when I was 3, 4 months of age, I still remember. My memory was such that either I never was a child, or I never grew up. It's for you to conclude. But when I was 5, 6 years of age, I was thinking about the same way. Maybe today the accumulated knowledge has increased, but the fundamental way of thought has not in any way better or worse, it's just about the same. So somewhere, I never was a child and this manifested itself in so many ways. Though I was the youngest in the family, my mother, unknowingly, she would almost address me like I'm her elder brother. I'm saying when I was 8, 9, 10 years of age. And nobody could ever cuddle me, fondle me, take them on my lap. Such things never happened to me. And I never felt the need either. So, I think I never grew up or I never was a child.
Maybe you can tell us though about the meeting, the initial meeting or the interaction with your own guru who taught you
He
practice.
was not my guru. He was… in India there's a word called Guru Bhai. That means among the disciples there's a certain brotherhood. So he kind of reminded me of certain things, and anyway, I was a super skeptical about everything. And I got into this for all the wrong reasons. I think I should I did not go in pursuit of spiritual process or some other higher pursuit. This is an ancestral home where once a year in the summer vacations we all arrive. About 36 of us, all cousin brothers and sisters, and it's one rollicking scene. For the boys, one of the sport is in the backyard, we have a well, which is about 8 feet in diameter and 150 feet in depth. Summers, usually the water is somewhere around 60, 70 feet down. So one of the sport is to jump into the well and climb up. When you jump, you must jump proper, otherwise your brain will become a smear on the wall. To come up, there is no foothold, there's no ladder or anything, you just hold the rock and climb up. And it's tough, because we were built like monkeys. We did come up. One day we were doing this. Today I realize it's a dangerous sport. And a man who was over 70 years of age was standing there and watching us. Without a word, he went and jumped into the well. I thought he's done. But he came up faster than me. I didn't like it. So I asked him how. He said, "Come and do yoga." I followed him like a puppy. And he taught me some simple things. I thought this will make me physically super. And I went. Next 12, 13 years, without a single day's break, it happened for me. And I never ever imagined that this would lead me to another dimension of life altogether. So what I'm trying to say is, the nature of this existence is such, even for the wrong reasons, if you do the right thing, it bears a result. The important thing is to do the right thing.